Picture this. You're standing in a bustling room. It's a social event at a crowded airport lounge. There's hundreds of voices echoing around you, but your own stays silent. Then a conversation flickers nearby and a smile catches your eye. You want to join. You want to speak, but an invisible force holds you back. Has the quiet ever owned you like that? And has regret ever followed you like a cold shadow? You know what I'm talking about? Where missed connection after missed connection slips away forever. This isn't just about shyness. This is about a fundamental human drive for connection. It's a drive that's often stifled by a single powerful fear. But today, we're going to shatter that silence. You're going to learn in this video how to talk to anyone, anytime, and anywhere, even if you're shy. So let's get started by speaking about the invisible wall. You know the feeling. It could be a coffee shop, a gym, or a silent elevator. There's a moment that appears, and it's a fleeting window to engage. You formulate the words. It could be a simple observation or a quick question, but then a brutal internal voice in your head cuts you off. You think to yourself, what if I look stupid? So you do what we all do in this day and age. You pull out your phone and you stare at the glowing screen. You chose the path of least resistance. Then, seconds later, the burn of regret flares. That attractive woman across the room, she's gone forever. That potential client who could have been yours, he's going to buy from someone else. And that cool guy who could have been your new buddy in town, not today. The true cost here is not an awkward moment. The real toll is every lived moment you lost could equal that extra friendship or that valuable insight that you never gained because you refused to go first. You abdicated the chance to create your own story. Nearly everyone agrees on this truth. We humans crave connection. There's this deep primal hunger that exists within all of us. It's to share and to understand, but we get frozen waiting. We expect someone else to break the ice, to carry the social burden for us and give us permission to speak. This is the central delusion. And that's that connection or true connection is always your responsibility to initiate. You hold the switch. You open the door. You build the bridge. Let me share with you the airport story about this Beanie guy from my own life. Picture this. Your flight got canceled on a frozen night in an airport. There's a freak snowstorm and it grounded every flight. Now, a few hundred strangers are slumped in thin cots under the harsh, flickering fluorescent lights of the airport. Every head is bowed, fixed on their screens, or talking to a loved one. Headphones are all plugged in. No one exchanges a word, and the silence pressed down like a physical weight that you could feel. Then, amidst the buzzing lights, the huddle of humanity, one man stood up. Call him the Beanie guy. He unfolded himself from his cot. He was wearing a beanie hat, and he walked a few steps and opened a big-sized bag of peanut M&Ms, and they were all in individual little plastic cases. His voice cut through the stillness, and he said, "Hey, everybody, anyone want to enjoy this guilty goodies bag with me?" A ripple of laughter moved through the row, and then it spread out to hundreds of people. But it wasn't polite chuckles. It was raw, genuine bursts of sound. It was the kind of laughter that erupts when a crushing tension finally breaks. He started tossing M&M bags to the camp. It was like a counselor feeding a hungry tribe. And within 10 minutes, that dead silence transformed. People traded travel horror stories together. They shared phone chargers and headphones. Someone pulled up Netflix on a laptop for collective viewing. And all because one man took a small risk. He turned isolation into a thriving community. He did not wait for approval. He created it. And he gave us all permission to connect. That story stuck with me to this day. See, there's this unbreakable rule that humans crave connection more than silence. And all you need to do is understand this truth. Humans hate silence. And we are pack animals. We move together. After one individual flips the switch, all the rest of us follow. Nature's built us to mirror each other. If you tense your shoulders, they stiffen. If you project warmth, they relax. And if you offer playfulness, their guard drops. Psychologists describe this as mirrored reciprocity. You do not receive what you desire, you receive what you give. And the energy you put out returns to you amplified. If you want attention, give it. If you want to laugh, share one. Think of a dog, man's best friend. When you return home, your dog becomes pure, unbridled joy. His tail wags, his eyes lock on you, as if you're the only rock star in the universe. Why? That explosion of focus earns the dog everything. You give him walks, treats, belly rubs, a pat on the head. Humans operate the same powerful law as we treat our pets. You crave warmth, but you have to radiate warmth first. You desire respect, but you have to offer respect first. You attract what you project. But here's the great deception. There is a tyranny of the 1%. So with this universal hunger for connection, why do so many of us remain trapped in our heads? Why do we stay silent and caught in endless loops of self-doubt? It's because we suffer terror over the 1%, the measly 1% who might reject us. There's always a 1% girl who rolls her eyes at you when you try to say something nice. There's a guy who gives you a dead stare. We allow this tiny fraction to dictate our entire social existence, and we surrender control to rare negative outcomes. This fear causes us to ghost the 99%, the majority who would welcome us, who would laugh with us, who would vibe with our energy. This is a mental prison. But today, we're going to break free. This is the secret move. It's the irresistible pull of a puzzle. Here's the simplest, most potent action that you can take today. Give people something to solve mentally. Your brain can't resist a puzzle, and theirs can't either. A tiny question or a small observation, even a shared moment, these create an instant bridge, and they offer an invitation, not a demand. This eliminates social pressure, and it sparks natural engagement. Here's real-life applications, though, that you can apply today, because this tactic works anywhere at any time. If you're stuck in line at a coffee shop, ask someone, is this worth the 20-minute wait or should I bail? See, you're sharing a common experience. It's not hard to speak like that. It's just a small decision point. If you're in the elevator, why don't you ask the person to your left and right, do you trust these elevator inspection companies? Because I've read way too many horror stories lately about elevators in Florida. See, you're creating a shared vulnerability. It's a lighthearted concern that elevates the tension. If you're at a public airport, you could say, hey, we all hate the TSA now, huh? Should we vote on whatever political party creates a less intrusive system? Get a couple laughs going. So you're building instant community. It's a shared reality. The specific line you say does not matter. The moment does. It's one opening. It's your genuine smile and one shared laugh. You're entering the flow, and you're no longer just an observer. You're flipping the light switch, and you're a participant. But beyond the opening line, you have to nurture the spark. So what happens after you open the conversation? Well, you have to keep it stupid simple. Just expand the connection. Share a small observation about your surroundings, or drop a short story. It could be personal, about your day or what you observed previously that reminded you of the situation. Ask their quick opinion on something relevant. For example, do you trust these elevator inspections if you're in an elevator? They're going to laugh and say, well, I hope so. And you could say, me too. Hey, if we survive this one, I owe you coffee on the ground floor. What do you do for a living, by the way? And just like that, you're no longer a stranger. You transformed this static, sterile environment into a moment, and you moved from observer to creator. But you have to build this muscle with consistent action to create that consistent conversational growth. So don't miss this. Social engagement functions exactly like a muscle. You don't transform from silent to master overnight. This requires practice, and it demands repetition. So what do? You start small. Compliment the barista's unique appearance someday if something stands out, and be genuine about it. Ask your driver, or your AI driver now, since cars are driving themselves, ask for the best local or hidden gem. Crack a lighthearted joke about the weather. Ask any small, low-stakes question, and you're going to observe it directly that 99% of humanity leans in, engages. They respond. Only 1%, the tyranny of the minority, do not. See, your mind is going to forget the 1% over enough time because the 99%, the majority, will lighten up your day. They will affirm your efforts and they'll build your confidence. Every small action is going to build your capacity to flip the switch of social interactions. And you have a hidden advantage. It's your invisible social power. See, when you consistently initiate, you forge invisible social power. You become the individual who lightens the room, who ignites conversation, and who makes others feel at ease. You're transforming into the connector that everyone wants near them. And you gain a distinct, unfair advantage while you're at it. You become remembered. You receive invitations. People trust you faster. And you stand out because you perform the actions that most men fear. You are going first. You're claiming the lead. And that's respected worldwide. But there is this final push, and it's embracing your role as the initiator. So here's the decisive move that I don't want you to miss. You need to become that guy. You know what I'm talking about? The icebreaker. The one who shatters the awkwardness when no one else dares to crack. The world overflows with people who are waiting to engage, waiting to speak and connect. But they need you to flip the switch. They're waiting for your permission. Just like the Beanie guy handing out the M&Ms at the airport, it gave everyone permission to engage. Don't forget this one hidden truth, though, while you're at it. Those who see all creatures in themselves and themselves in all creatures, they know no fear. So when you recognize you have a shared human desire for connection, the fear dissolves. All the shyness goes away like fog. When you go first, you project positive energy. So practice this daily, and your life is going to expand beyond your imagination. And if you want more strategies like this to break out of the filter, hit the subscribe button. And next time you see me in line somewhere, I want you to come say hello first. But I doubt you're going to beat me to it. So I'll catch you next time, and watch my last video right here.